Bringing back classic names seems to be working well for Renault, especially when paired with retro-inspired styling and electric power. Following the excitement around the revived Renault 5, it's now the Renault 4's turn to make a comeback for the modern era. Built on the strong foundation of the 5, the new 4 is slightly longer, taller, and more suited for families. Renault avoids calling it an SUV, but likens the relationship between the 5 and 4 to that of the Clio and Captur. You can even spec it with some of the most unnecessary sidesteps I've come across. According to Renault's presentation, rivals include the Mini Aceman, Fiat 600e, and Jeep Avenger, though the B-segment electric SUV market offers plenty of alternatives. While it may not be quite as irresistibly stylish as the smaller 5, the Renault 4's boxier silhouette pays homage to the original without overdoing the retro feel. It only comes with the 5's larger battery, which means it'll cost a bit more, but not drastically so. While final pricing hasn't been announced, early estimates suggest the base model will start closer to £25,000 than £30,000. Expect competitive finance deals too. I've driven a mid-spec left-hand drive Techno model on some familiar Portuguese roads, plus a few dirt tracks for variety. Curious about our testing methods? Check out our explainer page. Although the 4 uses the same Ampere small platform as the R5, it features a longer wheelbase and rear overhang to increase cabin space, along with a taller profile. Overall length grows from 3,922 mm in the 5 to 4,144 mm in the 4, while still keeping weight under 1,500 kilograms, which is impressively light for an EV. Renault introduces one-pedal driving for the first time, controlled via paddles behind the steering wheel. There's also an option for a full-length electrically operated canvas roof, big enough to let rear passengers soak up some sun. Unfortunately, it won't be available at launch, a shame, as it's a charming nod to the classic 4 and offers extra headroom for those in the back. Every version of the Renault 4 comes equipped with a 52 kWh battery paired with a 148 bhp motor, delivering a healthy 181 pounds-foot of torque. The result? A swift 0 to 62 miles per hour time of just 8.2 seconds, leaving the Stellantis lineup of compact electric SUVs in the dust when it comes to acceleration. While the Mini Aceman is quicker, it comes at a significantly higher price point. Renault claims a WLTP range of up to 247 miles, and in real-world summer driving, reaching over 200 miles should be easily achievable. During a few days of mixed driving, including time on motorways, I averaged between 4.0 and 4.3 miles per kilowatt-hour. That said, the mild 20 to 23 degrees Celsius weather during testing helped efficiency. Expect that number to drop into the 3s during winter, potentially resulting in a sub-150-mile range, similar to what we've seen with the Renault 5. Fast charging is well covered. The R4 supports up to 100 kilowatts DC, allowing a 15 to 80% top-up in just 30 minutes, or a full charge from empty in about 55 minutes. AC charging is handled by a standard 11 kilowatts onboard charger, enabling a full charge in 4 hours and 51 minutes, significantly faster than the 7 hours 47 minutes required with a standard 7.4 kilowatts wall box. Practicality isn't an afterthought either. The Renault 4 comes with vehicle-to-load capability, allowing you to power household appliances via a standard 3-pin plug. Towing capacity is rated at 750 kilograms. On the road, the steering is precise, well-weighted, and offers decent feedback through the tires. It shares the same fast steering rack as the 5, but the longer wheelbase gives it a more composed, settled feel, something I personally appreciate. Push it hard and it'll gently understeer, with no risk of the rear end stepping out. But this isn't a sporty car, and that's part of its charm. Throttle response is confident and muscular, delivering strong acceleration that outpaces most of its class. While the Mini Aceman is quicker and the Volvo EX30 faster still, the R4 never felt underpowered. Even short motorway slip roads were handled with ease and composure. Thanks to its increased ride height, the R4 handled light off-road excursions without scraping its underside. The main limitation on loose gravel was tire grip, though I did spot one demo unit fitted with mud and snow tires. Interestingly, Renault engineers didn't rule out the possibility of a 4WD variant in the future. Yes, there's some noticeable wind noise around the door mirrors and tire roar on rougher surfaces, but this is a sub-pound 30,000 electric SUV, not a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. On the plus side, adaptive cruise control with lane centering is standard from the mid-spec Techno trim upwards, helping take the edge off long motorway drives. Aside from some unique seat, dash, and door fabric options, denim, please, and 4-specific badging, the interior is largely identical to that of the Renault 5. The good news? You still get physical controls for the climate system, proper buttons on the steering wheel, dedicated mirror adjustment switches, and even volume buttons placed conveniently atop the infotainment housing. Now for the quirks. While not exactly bad, the gear selector doesn't appreciate being hurried, and you'll almost certainly hit the wiper stalk when reaching for a gear. With audio controls mounted to the right of the wheel, there are 4 stalks protruding from the steering column, so accidental inputs are bound to happen. Still, the Renault 4 is far more intuitive than the somewhat infuriating Volvo EX30. Both use Google-based infotainment systems, but the R4 standard digital instrument cluster makes checking your speed much easier. The menus are simpler to navigate on the move, and Android Auto is still included. Build quality is impressive for a car aimed at this price bracket. Sure, you'll find your share of hard plastics, just like in the Aceman and nearly every other rival, but Renault's clever use of colorful, textured fabrics elevates the interior feel well above anything else in the sub-£30K EV segment. In fact, it makes the more expensive Ford Puma jeans cabin look a bit bargain bin by comparison. There's also a slight increase in front seat headroom over the 5, but the real improvement is found in the rear. Foot space has been enhanced, despite the battery intruding into the floor and requiring passengers to tuck their feet under the front seats. Those with larger feet may need front occupants to raise their seats a bit for extra clearance. 6-foot passengers are less likely to have their knees cramped or pushed to the sides compared to the Renault 5, though the Vauxhall Frontera and Citroën EC3 Aircross still offer more generous rear legroom. Headroom is solid, despite the rear bench being positioned higher than the front seats. When it comes to cargo space, the R4 ranks just behind the Ford Puma and its cavernous Gigabox. The Renault offers 420 liters under the parcel shelf and expands to 1,405 liters with the rear seats folded. That includes a handy 55-liter compartment beneath the boot floor. Plus, Renault has added straps and storage cubbies to keep items from sliding around while you drive. Certainly, here's a refined and rephrased version of your text, maintaining all the details while improving clarity and flow. The Renault 4's trim lineup is expected to closely follow that of the Renault 5, minus the smaller battery and lower output motor. This means even the entry-level Evolution trim will deliver the same performance and range as higher spec models, unlike the 5, and will likely come with a generous list of standard features. These should include a heat pump, 18-inch alloy wheels, wireless smartphone mirroring, rear parking sensors, and keyless entry. Upgrading to the mid-range Techno trim, estimated at around £2,000 more, adds a stylish illuminated front grille, built-in Google functionality for the infotainment system, a larger digital driver's display, wireless phone charging, multiple drive modes, adaptive cruise control with steering assist, full parking sensors, and paddle-controlled regenerative braking with one-pedal driving. Go for the top-spec iconic trim, and you'll get a bit more in terms of safety and comfort. Expect features like blind spot monitoring, unique alloy wheels, and an electric tailgate. Most notably for chilly UK winters, Iconic is the only trim to offer heated front seats and a heated steering wheel, features not even available as options on Evolution or Techno models, which is a bit of a letdown. Overall, this looks like another strong entry in Renault's EV lineup, and arguably an even better all-rounder than the 5. It retains all of the 5's strengths while adding more practicality, and it doesn't appear to push the price up significantly. Yes, rivals like the Vauxhall Frontera or Citroën EC3 Aircross may be cheaper and offer more rear legroom, but they can't match the R4's performance or driving range. In one bold move, Renault makes the Ford Puma Gen E seem overpriced, outshines most of Stellantis offerings in practicality, perhaps with the exception of the E2008, and rides far more comfortably than the costlier Mini Aceman. The Renault 4 absolutely earns a full 5-star rating.